Billy Sunday, American baseball player and American evangelist. Billy Sunday was born November 19th, 1862, and at 10 years of age was put into an orphanage where him and his brother would spend several years. There he found out that he was really a good athlete and that he was a good student. At 14, he had his first job with First Lieutenant Governor John Scott, doing farm chores and taking care of his Shetland ponies. And in exchange, they provided him an opportunity to finish school, going to high school, where he got an education, but he never received a high school diploma. So he was a very well-educated young man. In 1880, he was taken on to the Marshalltown, Iowa Fire Brigade, where he that was his first biplane professional career. In 1883, he was signed with the Chicago White Stockings, and in 1886, he met and married his wife, Miss Helen Thompson. In 1887, he was well liked by his fans. His greatest asset was his speed. He wasn't a very good athlete, but he was fast. So, therefore, he was well liked. And in 1888, he was a center field for Pittsburgh Albies. In 1890, he signed with the Philadelphia Phillies. In 1891, he turned down a $3,000 contract for an $86 a month job at the YMCA, where he began his ministerial career. In 1893, he became a full-time assistant and an apprentice to evangelist Wilbur Chapman, where he went into the towns and he would start up his preaching for him, or get things together for his preaching, his choirs, and get his schedule ready. In 1896, Sunday took out on his own, preaching, putting up tents, and preaching to people. In 1908, because of his insecurities, his wife joined him on the road, leaving their 4 children with a nanny, and going with Billy out on the road and helping him in his ministerial jobs. She was great help financially and helped him secure income and helped him to just be a better preacher. In the 1910s, he was front page news, exceeding the World War I coverage that was going on at that time. Many newspapers would print complete sermons of his on their front pages. He was an active preacher, smashing and jumping around on the stage, sliding across the stage to keep people's attention and to get the word out. It's been estimated that he preached 100 million people face to face before there were sound systems or media of today. That's a great number of people. 200,000 estimated sermons in his lifetime. He believed in the inerrancy of the Bible. He believed that Jesus was coming back again. There was a literal heaven and hell, and that there was a literal devil. And he was a non-denominational preacher. He had 3 sons and 1 daughter. The 3 sons always were doing things against his father's wishes and did things against his preaching beliefs, which were no drinking and things of that nature. He was very instrumental in prohibition. So, and because they would go against him, they were blackmailed often, and he paid those people off. In 1932, his one and only daughter, died, probably from MS. It's thought that she had MS. And in 1933, one of his sons committed suicide. And this started a dark time in Billy's life whenever his children began to die and his health began to deteriorate. And because now they have radios and people could listen to sermons on the radio instead of coming out and seeing an evangelist face to face. That was cutting down on his preaching. In 1935, he had a heart attack on November the 6th and died. But 1 week before his passing, he preached his very last sermon entitled, "What Must I Do to Get into Heaven?" Or "What Must I Do to Be Saved?" Billy Sunday was a very instrumental man in the evangelist times. He was one of the greatest, if not the greatest, evangelical preacher of his time. And I hope this helps you to realize that there was a little bit about Billy Sunday maybe that you didn't know. I appreciate your time. Thank you.